Bozich, and welcome to What's on Tap. In this episode, we sat down with Qui Qui Musarra of Qui, Suba, and the soon-to-open Rubicon. I thought it would be kind of interesting for you to talk about how you ended up here, and in fact, what restaurant you were helping to open then.
Well, actually, it was kind of a fluke coming here. I moved here from Central America, not Pennsylvania.
Right.
And I was looking. My best friend Stacy Basor, who's also my partner here, we'd known each other for like 26 years from DC, and I had been traveling around. And last time we saw each other was in DC, so I was looking around to see where she was, so I called the peeps here up in Harrisburg, and they said, oh, she's actually here. So I just came for a visit, and things, kind of unraveled in the way that they were opening up the firehouse in Donnie Brown. She had just actually moved from Arizona, and then me coming via Central America, Panama, and kind of said, would you like to help open this place up? And it really wasn't my intention of staying. But that's
what happens to everybody around here.
That's kind of what happened.
I didn't mean to stay in Harrisburg, but I did.
I was like doing my penitence on earth. You go like New York, the Caribbean, Spain, Harrisburg.
So when you were at Firehouse, is that when you started the pasta art stand that you had at Broad Street Market, or did you start that independently?
Frank Idacolo, who owned the business next door, which we were revamping at this particular point, needed some help at what was then the Paper Moon restaurant. And I'm on my little bicycle going around town. I was like, help, help. I was like, okay. So I started helping out here at Paper Moon, which is what Qui is right now, the same building. And one thing led to another, and people were kind of pushing me to Broad Street Market was definitely going through a renaissance. It had just recently been renovated, and a lot of cool people were in there. Joe Bear, the sausage man, and Barb Skelly was the market master, and working out of the restaurant to prepare all the foods and bringing all the imported meats and cheeses of Italy, which was something I started working in as I was 18 years old. That was my first job in the food industry, was at the original Dean and DeLuca on Prince Street in New York City. So that's where all that experience came in quite handy many years later.
You started out, you said, just open for dinner, but right now you do a booming lunch business. So the guys
Actually,
came to set up today.
when we opened up Qui, it was really only opened up for lunch.
Oh, okay.
Because I just kind of fell into my lap, the whole business. The Paper Moon had closed down. I was still renting the kitchen for the market. And then they wanted to sell everything in the whole place. I'm like, no, you can't do that.
Right.
I'll be unemployed. So we bought everything in the restaurant, and that's when Stacy, my friend, I met Elodie Hauer, who's a partner here also, and figured, well, now that we have the restaurant, we might as well do something with it. So it took a few months, going to market, make some money, come back, invested, and finally we opened up. And we opened up actually with brunch on Valentine's Day, because I was very familiar with that meal period at Paper Moon, which was great.
So then when did you sort of graduate to the sit-down menu that you have?
Dinner, well, Stacy then left the firehouse.
Okay,
and then she's like, well, I think you need to start expanding a little. We can use a little expansion here. And we started to, just a few nights a week, and then I fought tooth and nail, no credit cards, and then finally credit cards, and I could never have dreamed the day I parked my bicycle outside that this would have been separated from the other two buildings, then I would buy it, transform it into this, and then eventually buy the two buildings next door that it was attached to and rejoin them. Even though they'll be separate businesses, they are joined. So it's there's this like crazy cycle I never could have dreamed of. And I remember my brother coming from DC to visit, and when I first got here, he goes, what's your plans? I'm saying, well, it's definitely not staying here, I'll tell you that much.
Do you think, though, that you've helped, and I mean you personally, but also you as your business, have helped sort of educate this area about what good food is?
I believe so. You know, and I'm not trying to say that with, you know, oh, I need double doors for my head to
Well,
go
and I wasn't
through.
trying to ask
It's
it that
like,
way either, of course, but
you know, but there was definitely, I mean, when we first opened up, people would like, so this isn't all Italian, and I'm like, where's my Merlot and everything like that.
Right.
And I was like, this isn't the place for you.
right.
And pretty much, there were, you know, it was difficult because there was certainly a learning curve there. Not to say that everybody in the area wasn't familiar with good food, but the people who were familiar with good food were the people who had the wherewithal to travel, and they experienced it other places. New York City and Washington, D.C., and Madrid, Spain, and San Juan, Puerto Rico, the places where I grew up. Everybody's like, let's go out, and everybody's out, and you don't need an excuse, and it doesn't matter if it's a thunderstorm or raining or, you know, Madrid, everybody's protesting, 40,000 people. It doesn't matter. Everybody still goes out and eats and drinks and talks and smokes and does whatever. Here it's like very specific, or it's an occasion. We might go out. It rained, gotta cancel. It's like,
Well, I do think that has changed over the 10 years, in the last
it's definitely,
dozen at least. Yeah.
definitely improved. It's definitely improved. And I think that comes with the effort that not only we've put into it, but a lot of other business members of the community have, you know, from 2nd Street, that's certainly improved. And then with other areas in the Midtown and, you know, Sturgis up on Forster and things like that, you've got a lot of good people.
So let's talk about Rubicon. So you guys are kind of doing the, well, for a long time it was unannounced. It was the secret next door.
It was the secret.
The secret, but it's out now.
It'll be a bar that really you will have, it's supported by a kitchen. Everybody's saying, are you going to expand? And there was always the thought, maybe Suba's too small, maybe we'll do that over there. But, you know, looking at it more closely is, you don't need more of the same. More of the same is not exciting. Just get on the scale. You know, you're beautiful, but 25, 35 pounds more of you, you might not be so happy. You know, everybody still love you, but they need more of you. You know? Even with the opening of Suba, it was for this place to have its own identity. It's not painted the same, it's different.
Right.
It looks completely different from downstairs, but they work together. And the next door will be pretty much that way. The fact that the three of us are here morning, noon, and night.
Right.
And there's the personal attention that you will have next door as you've had here. It's just going to be in a larger place with a different focus, physical focus in the seating. But then you're going to have an amazing 2nd floor, open it all up. But there was supposed to be the sense of drama and theater about it.
And I think even at the stage it is right now that you see that.
You know, there was. I remember with Jessica Myers, Gem, and I was like, drinking tequila, we're chatting, and, you know, and it comes out, you know, your little bar napkin, the famous bar napkin, where, more ideas have been on bar napkins, you know. Those you keep. The people that you meet that night, those get thrown away. But it was, you know, opening that space up, having this amazing staircase, only in the original bar napkin. You'd think that I had like this huge palace. So everything had to be shrunk down a little bit and reconfigured, but to get that same feeling of drama.
Well, we talked a little bit about here at Suba how you guys were ahead of the curve with what you did in terms of cocktails. And I know you're going to do a lot of the same sort of thing at Rubicon, although I'm sure the menu will be different. So can you tell us anything about what that's going to be like?
As we've done, we've split up Suba with your Spanish and some Portuguese wines, and downstairs Mangiaqui has strictly been Italian wines. Next door it will be all French. Not only will the cocktail, they'll be different, but there's the whole accoutrement of what you're drinking out of. Has to have a certain feel and a look to it that'll set you apart from everybody else. Because the idea, not only is the cocktail what was inside the glass, the whole idea of cocktailing was part of the glass that you were drinking it out of. And one important thing is, quite frankly, we're definitely getting away from these oversized cocktails.
Right.
I would be much happier drinking 3 small martinis than just one.
And you can try more things
You can.
without falling off the bar stool.
The intention is not to get sloshed
Right.
in one fell swoop. Might as well hit you in the head with the bottle. leave your wallet on the table and I hit you with the bottle.
give us a little bit of tease for viewers as to what if they've not heard anything about Rubicon before, what can they expect?
I think that it serves as a good example for the community. You know, it's like the three women, which is like which is less often. This, you know, this whole business downtown, things like that. It's like this boys club.
Yeah.
You know, they're like poof poof. You're like, oh poof poof you. Poof. And it is like a boys club.
Yeah.
It is like, oh, how many did you do tonight? I don't know. Did you see that pass on the TV screen? One thing I will tell you, there will definitely not be any televisions. You know, if you need that sort of entertainment, stay home, or you can go someplace else.
Right.
I mean, the whole idea is when you open a restaurant and a bar and things like that, it's for people to socialize. And you can't do that if you're looking at the screen. So if you want that sort of entertainment, that you won't find that at Rubicon. And I think that, you know, it'll harken back to the day where people actually sit down at a table and have conversations and talk and look at each other, and those civilities that are starting to really be lacking in society right now. Like I said, we're only as good as the people who like us, because it's a public service. You know, it's all about the folks.
I can't wait for Rubicon to open, and I wish you the best of luck and continued success.
Thank you so much,
Cheers.
Sarah. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely,
here.
thank you.
You know, the worst thing for me is when it's like slow, then I just can't do anything. I become really complacent about what I do, because there's no fun not doing it for anybody. All of a sudden, I see like 50 people come through the door, and then it's like, now I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. And like, Stacy's like, you just gave me 9 specials in 2 minutes. Are they all ready? No, but they will be in a minute, I swear to God. And like, because I've got somebody that I can play with.
Right.
It really is. It's so much fun. It's great.